is sick.
Fight!
Round one. I love how scout. Yeah.
Watch where you're flying! Is that the whole force?
The great King Cold has now arrived, Your Majesty.
I'd say that's pretty obvious. It's an honor to have you here, great King Cold.
This is my son, Frieza. Meet the Saiyan King.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Lord Frieza. Welcome.
I'm retiring effective immediately. From this moment on, Frieza will be your commander. I suppose I should warn you of one difference, and is even more cold-hearted than I am.
Hello, monkeys! I have such high expectations for you. To commemorate my rise to power, I brought along new combat items to aid you in your servitude. These devices are called Scouters. Oh dear. It appears that a number of Saiyans currently have weapons trained on us. Ha! I assume you get the picture? They're useful, are they not? If you don't think that's enough, feel free to complain. I believe we're done here.
My son, my pride and joy. The latent battle power within you is astonishing. I look forward to watching you grow into a vicious king. Who is this child? What is he doing in the same room as my son?
This is BROLY. He is the child of Colonel Bardock. You'll see we found that his latent abilities are exceptionally high.
You dare to suggest that this commoner has a rating that's on par with my son's? The prince's rating broke every record in Saiyan history. Give me that!
Upon further inspection, his rating is less than half of his original number.
That being said, even if we do ignore the previous data, Broly's latent abilities are quite remarkable. He could even end up being the legendary Super Saiyan.
That's far enough.
Please, forgive me for barging in. I understand you plan to send Broly away. His destination is the planetoid Vampa. It's an inhospitable world devoid of intelligent life.
The truth of the matter is that your son Broly's latent abilities are abnormally elevated. Someday that power will likely end up driving him completely insane. Be grateful that I'm exiling him to a faraway world and not simply ending his life. Besides, you're too late. He's gone. I had the pod launched before you got here.
Move it!
Hey, sir, what are you... You don't have permission to launch this!
The fool can't stand the fact that my son is almost the same age as the prince, but far exceeds his power level. He won't get away with this. But I'll make sure that Broly survives no matter what.
I understand, but
Don't worry, Beats. Once I rescue Broly, we'll go live on some other world where I can train him myself. I'll raise Broly to be a mighty warrior on my own. And someday I'll have my revenge against King Vegeta.
I don't know, man. I like this opening scene.
This is epic.
Yeah, it's something about. I think I always enjoy seeing how the Saiyans live, like flashbacks of the Saiyans and how they was living under Frieza's control. So I think it's cool, and you get introduced to even more Saiyans, Goku's mom, and everything like that. So I think it's really dope. I do feel that.
I thought, so the art style was such a drastic improvement from what we even saw in Dragon Ball Super, which this is what I really wish we would have saw. I think this is, without a doubt, the peak of Dragon Ball animation, artwork, all that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the lore, I do enjoy that as well, with them going into the backstory of the Saiyans and even retconning Broly. I really do enjoy the difference in between seeing him now and why King Vegeta exiled him, as opposed to his backstory just being that he was crying too loud in proximity to Goku.
No, I think that was the
Or Goku.
original. That was that was added, but that was the original backstory too. He was still afraid that he was going to be too
Right,
strong.
right.
But but they just took away the Goku part.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like how he's more connected to Vegeta than
Exactly.
Goku. Goku is more of like a side character, and Vegeta is like the main one. And he says later, you got to answer for the sins of your father. I think that's dope. But I really like to seeing more of the Saiyans or something. And I've always said, like, I think something they should really do is like a prequel scene with Vegeta growing up under Frieza's control.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing this movie does has like subtle differences from like Frieza destroying Planet Vegeta from the actual series. Like I think in this one, Vegeta's not on the ship. Like he's like on another planet with rats and everything like that. So it's like subtle differences. And I kind of wonder, like, is King Cold ever like Frieza? You just destroyed our whole profit system. Like, what are you like? What's going on? That's something I always wondered. But yeah. And one other question I have too, like, I wonder what happens during like the full moon on Planet Vegeta. Like, do they just not look at it? Like, do they leave the planet? Like, because literally they would destroy the planet.
Or does Planet Vegeta even have a moon?
It should. No, because this probably won't. It's probably not canon, but I think I remember in GT it said that every 8 years the moon appears, or something like that.
Okay.
So that's it might not be canon, maybe.
But
it would be kind of weird that they don't have a moon in their own planet.
Yeah, but they
That's
also
their
have the
powers.
ability to where they can summon that light ball, kind of like Turtles did.
Yeah, I don't think does everybody.
Or
is that
Vegeta
just like
did
an elite?
too.
Yeah, no, Vegeta did it. But is it only an elite thing? Because could Nappa do it?
I don't know. I think that was more so the limiting factor that would be Nappa's intelligence. Nappa wasn't the most intellectually proficient individual from what I saw.
Yeah,
he served his role as a brute.
Yeah, but and I also asked about the moon because it seemed like it was like kind of like a moon when it was flying in, so I saw it. But I know Paragus says like, don't look at the moon because that's how you transfer. But I'm like, do they all just don't have just don't make a collective method? All right, there's a full moon tonight. Everybody just don't look at the moon.
Don't look at the water's reflection.
Don't do it.
No.
Because
I really do like in this movie in particular how they, through making the story a little bit different with Broly's origin, they make them more sympathetic as characters, and so it's not so much as good versus evil. They dabble along the lines of morality because all the individual motivations and the characters are far more nuanced.
Yeah. So
I think for this reason, I know we haven't seen the rest of the film quite yet, but I do think this is the best Dragon Ball Z movie to date.
I also wish they would have had some type of mention of Cooler when he's like, oh, my son, I have another son. He took over the other force.
To
but
make
this
Cooler canon?
Yeah, to make him canon. But I guess he's not really canon at this point. Because were the movies canon? No, they weren't. Even the ones that Toriyama made.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy them, but
I
really
just
wish they would.
I wish Cooler was canon. I don't know. I like Cooler.
I like Cooler too.
I like Cooler. Yeah, I didn't like that you just turned Super Saiyan and you beat him just like Frieza, like because he's supposed to be stronger than Frieza. But yeah, I like Cooler. But yeah, you see how Frieza's like a little brat too. Like, hello, my name.
Yo, Frieza looks weird too.
They changed
his
the color.
appearance,
Yeah, they changed the color. Yeah.
And apparently, I looked into his race, which they're called changelings, or the frost demons. Like those, I've seen both of those names being used for their race. But so Frieza's armor, certain portions of it, like pieces on his leg, that's actually like part of their body.
Yeah.
Not the vest part with the shoulder pads, but they grow their arm, which I thought that was just really interesting.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. Yeah, I knew that it was just the sand armor that he wears, and that's it. Everything else was like part of his body. Yeah, I got it.
Fight!
Round 2.
So, this is Vampa, huh? My calculations say the pod should have arrived here 2 days ago.
It was calmer when we were in the light. Can't we land back there? It'd be easier to bring her down.
No. This is closer.
Come on! Wait, you need me to go?
Yes, I can't exactly have you taken off without me while I'm searching for him.
You can trust me.
Yeah, as if there's such a thing as a trustworthy Saiyan.
The pod! I think I see it over there.
Where could he have gone?
I hope he wasn't eaten by one of these things. Broly. So this is your son. His battle power is 920? That's higher than I am right now.
So that's it. Looks like his battle suit has been stretched out and torn in places. He must have stared at the moon and turned into a great ape.
Oh no.
What is it?
The main floater is cracked. We're done for.
There's enough food and water for 10 days.
Do you really think anyone will find us before we start to starve?
There is one sure way for us to conserve food.
Bardock. Hey, look at that. Seems like the party may have started without us.
Frieza's already here? Yeah, that's his ship. I've got a bad feeling about this. None of it makes any sense.
Well, I can't think of any Saiyan who likes Frieza.
Like Uncle Tom saying, I love Frieza now. You're a good master.
Could probably get by even without us annoying Saiyans around.
Hold on. You're not suggesting that Frieza's planning to exterminate us?
It's a possibility.
Oh, and Bardock. Frieza's people have been asking around about the Super Saiyan lately. Not sure what that's about.
Like the one in the legend? That's it.
So then, are you cancelling the attack?
You are hilarious! Not after I went through the trouble of assembling all these monkeys.
What's wrong? No warm welcome, Guinea?
Bardock, you're here.
Where's Raditz?
Off-world. He's in the military now, teamed up with Prince Vegeta on some planet.
Wow, Prince Vegeta, huh? I wouldn't want to be stuck on a ship with that one. How is Kakarot doing?
You should see him. Come on. He certainly has his father's hair, for better or worse.
After dark, I'm going to steal a pot for him.
Huh?
We're going to send our son to another world.
Huh? You've got to be kidding.
With his latent abilities, he's destined to be sent away. Probably somewhere horrible. I don't think we can afford to wait much longer.
And what does that mean?
Because of Frieza. I think he's afraid of the legendary Super Saiyan appearing one day. I get the feeling that death is on its way for us.
Is there another option? Let's think about this.
No, it's the only choice. If I turn out to be wrong, I'll go and rescue him.
If your father is wrong about this, then we'll come and get you immediately.
Listen, son. You do what it takes to survive. Got it? Goodbye.
These barbarians pretend to be submissive, but they're dangerous. They could bare their fangs against us at any time. It's always best to put a sleeping beast down before it can be awakened.
Shit's big as a planet.
It's crazy as a
I, for one, feel so much better now.
Did you hear that? A meteor collided with planet Vegeta and our whole world was obliterated! Impossible!
It's a good thing we decided to ignore Frieza's order to head home. Now I'll never get to be King Vegeta.
And you had a brother as well.
Yeah, but he was just gonna be a lower-class warrior. I think Mom said she sent Kakarot off the planet in a pod, though. Oh well, I couldn't care any less.
Always been a douchebag.
Always been a douchebag. Oh man, how'd you feel about the scene though?
The destruction of Planet Vegeta?
But one thing I want to ask though, do you like, you know, you've seen of course Bardock, the father of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the comparison between the two, you know, backgrounds between Bardock and that movie and this movie? Which one do you like better?
I think the other one, they did two very different things. The other one was more Bardock centered, obviously. so they get more insight into him. This one, he was significant, but he was almost a footnote. Like, he had the intuition of what was going on, what Frieza was doing, but I would have liked to seen him rushing towards the spaceship trying to carry blow. Kind of like the original iconic scene where he's out in space and he's powering up, and it just fast forwards to the fact where he's in the beam struggle.
Yeah,
and I think that didn't have the same gravity to it, but it's not a Bardock one, so you can't have everything. I understand that.
Yeah, well, you know the difference in that movie was he knew the future. Like the fact that he got attacked, he was able to find out the future that Frieza was going to destroy the planet, which is why he originally did that. He went up and tried to attack him. So that's the main difference there. But I'm not mad at this one. I think this one shows that he kind of cares for Goku and he's trying to do the right thing. And of course, he's still that smart Bardock. He had an intuition like, oh wait, Frieza's going to kill us. Maybe I should get Goku on the planet. Yeah, like what's going on? It kind of shows how smart Bardock is. I'm not mad that they don't have the future thing. I'm okay they just leaving it that he had intuition like, oh wait, Frieza's something wrong. But one thing I don't like Vegeta and Raditz's voice in the scene at all.
Yeah,
as a kid, it just seems so.
The voice is more mature than.
Yeah, that too. It doesn't seem like a kid's voice. It is just like it was just weird. I don't. Why couldn't Chris Satter just did it like the same Vegeta voice and maybe they could have made it a little lighter or something, but. I don't like that, and one thing I would have also liked, I would have liked Vegeta having some type of emotion. If there was something, of course he doesn't have to cry. I'm not saying he's like, oh God, but if he just walks away and just put his head down, or something like that, like damn, this
or drop what he was doing and collapse.
And in this one, he's just like, oh, I'll never get Big King Vegeta.
Yeah,
and if Super showed anything, it showed that Vegeta actually cares about his people. The fact that he mentored the guy from the Saiyan from the other university, Kappa. So I don't know. It just seems like, oh man,
it is very strange.
Yeah, it's just like because if it would have been perfect if he just showed some type of emotion, like damn, my people are really gone right now. Because I mean, on the other, of course, was it Bardock? It was in the series too, but I think on Bardock he was on the ship, Frieza's ship, so he didn't really know about what happened until I guess he was told. Mm-hmm. But in this one, he was just that's what I just didn't like about it. But I love the actual scene of with the music, Frieza like, hey, I have to do something. 5 years, it hasn't been 5 years. I have to do something. It destroys him just like that. It's wild.
As far as Vegeta goes, his character here was very unfitting because his whole thing has always been Saiyan pride.
Exactly.
And
I understand the Saiyans they're warriors. They don't really care for each other. They're like, oh, he's my brother, whatever. Still, it's a such thing as Saiyan pride.
Exactly. As much as he goes on about it, you would think that there would have been some inkling of that in his earlier development.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that was a bit disappointing. The fact that they just made him like a bratty preteen kid.
I want to be king now. God. Yeah. It didn't really fit the Vegeta that we kind of know.
No.
From the voice to everything. And I just didn't understand, like, Raditz? Isn't he a low-class warrior? Should he really be with them at this point? I mean,
yeah. Well, that was always how it was told they worked together.
Oh, Vegeta and Raditz?
Yeah. One of the things that I found really surprising, though, was Bardock said that Frieza would eventually be suspicious, or, no, he said that King Vegeta would be suspicious. Someone would be suspicious over Kakarot's latent ability. So even back then, he had a lot of potential. They could tell from his power level. He wasn't Broly levels, but he was.
No, he didn't say that. No. He just said that with his latent ability of being a low class warrior, they're going to send him to another planet somewhere, and where basically what they do to all the low class warriors. So he might as well get ahead of it and do it before they send him somewhere or before Frieza destroys the planet. Yeah, that's how I'd say. I don't think he was saying it as like his latent ability. I don't think Goku had a latent ability. I think the reason Goku, and I say this in all my videos, the reason Goku was able to catch Vegeta wasn't because he didn't have latent ability. It was because he trained. He had different training from King Kai to Master Roshi ever since he was growing up. And Vegeta, the only training, he didn't even have training. He just had experience with just in the field where you needed training too to actually grow your power. And that's how he actually caught up with him. So I don't think Goku had a latent ability at all.
It's possible. I guess that's just how I interpreted it.
Yeah. I do think Super shows that Goku they kind of in Super they give Goku like a natural ability to be beyond Vegeta in strength because of course they're training in the same sphere in Super Dragon Ball Super. Like Vegeta's less stubborn in Super. He's training with Whis, he's training with Beerus and everything like that. But still, Goku has one up on him. It's like, is there a real reason why he has a...
Goku's always trained under mentorship.
Yeah, but Vegeta was doing the same thing. But yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about the scene. It just wasn't fitting for Vegeta's character. If they would have just showed some type of emotion, or Vegeta himself just walked off like, damn. I understand their warrior race.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have pride, and Vegeta has shown that through DBZ and DBS too. So.
Exactly, it's always been part of his character. Also, quick side note: those other two Saiyans, that implies that there's other Saiyans that survived.
Mm-hmm.
At least those two that were never mentioned again.
That's the other thing. That's what I would wanted to see, like a prequel series of just Vegeta growing up as a kid. I know Toriyama doesn't like that, but just like a prequel series of Vegeta growing up as a kid, and maybe after the first season, Frieza destroys planet Vegeta, and then after the second season, you find out what happened to these Saiyans. You know, shit, I can write it. Let me, shit, I'm just so interested in that because I just think it'd be so cool to the character. Like you don't have Goku, you just have focuses on Vegeta. Just shows how he grew up under Frieza and like everything that Frieza did to him as he was growing up. But
I think it's a little late for that.
You think it's late?
Yeah. If they do another movie,
it's never too late.
for that, so I think so. But if they did another movie kind of like Resurrection F, where Vegeta in his fast forward to today, in his new form with his God of Destruction powers, I think it's an alter ego. If they had him be the one that defeats Black Frieza, if they had him like do a quick, let's say they have a quick flashback and showing what it was with him growing up under Frieza and being a soldier, I think that would be a good way to fit it and tie it together. But other than that, I feel like it'd be so ill placed because the entire story has been so Frieza centered and is covered so much that it'd be difficult to fit in a really coherent way.
I don't agree with
Unless you do outside the main continuity.
I don't agree with that. I don't know. I think a prequel series it's kind of no different than a Star Wars universe. You could just throw in a prequel series like you did Obi-Wan Kenobi between certain movies or between a certain instance in the series, and I think it'll be fine. But I mean, who knows? I don't think it's because it's a prequel. I don't think it's gonna be too late. But who knows?
I'd rather see the universe 6 Saiyans.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the closest you probably get to it, if anything.
Yeah, possible. But I like to see it, and I think the score is really one of the best things with Frieza destroying the planet. You just see everybody's like, this thing is cool.
Yeah. Why is he smiling though?
That's what I was wrong. He just looks up, just smiles. I just felt like it was just so displaced. Like you have Saiyan pride, your whole people were just basically destroyed. There's only like 6 of you left. Like
yeah,
you should have some type of emotion, not cry. But, I don't know. It's weird. That's the only thing I really did not like. Yeah. Also, do you know how they changed Bardock's armor? Of course, he had the black armor.
There were square shoulder pads.
It's like black and green. Yeah. Do you like that they all just gave everybody like the same armor?
They don't.
Huh?
There's several different types of armor.
I know, but I'm talking about as far as the color.
Do I like it? I mean,
was it like a huge change for you? Or did you
it wasn't. I mean, Bardock's individual character design was a big change because the art style. This is a more lean variation of Bardock, and the square shoulder pads, they do look kind of weird on him. I mean, I like the art style as a whole, but I will say I do prefer the original Bardock's design, if that makes sense.
I'm not even really just talking about the actual.
This trademark.
I'm just, yeah, I like the bandana. I totally forgot the bandana. Bandana is cool, it's a cool trademark, but they kept the scar too, so it was whatever.
They had to, otherwise it's Goku.
Yeah, well, it was either bandana or the scar, but they just kept the scar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't mad at anything. I do like that he kept the scar, and he's still kind of different from Goku, but I probably would have liked the bandana.
Yeah. Because that's his trademark.
Yeah.
Fight!
Round 3.
What's up?
It looks like someone broke into your laboratory.
What? Was anything stolen?
Oh man, they swiped the Dragon Balls you collected, and the Dragon Radar.
You know what, Mom? I recognize the clothes the burglars were wearing. They kind of look like those outfits that Dad had back in the day.
The culprits were Frieza's men. He specifically used people with lower battle powers so we wouldn't be able to detect them.
I only had 6 Dragon Balls stashed in my lab. I bet they're probably headed for the last one. Lucky for you, I know where it is.
So where is it?
On the ice continent. Would you like to come along too?
It's nap time. I'll stay here.
Yay! Here! Thanks, Uncle Beerus. Goodbye! Don't have too much fun! We'll have to stop it.
Oh, but you know, one thing I noticed, I don't know if it's like a second child effect, but you know how Bardock and Goku look just alike, and Goku and Goten look just alike? I wonder if Vegeta had a second son, which would look just like him.
He look more like him.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a second child effect, like they look exactly alike.
Yeah.
It's something I just noticed. I don't know.
No, you're certainly right. And one thing
Because
also...
Tarp was the first one, right?
Tarp was the younger brother.
You sure?
Yeah. Tarp is a Saiyan from the planet Vegeta, shockingly. Vegeta's...
That doesn't make sense,
brother.
though.
Why not?
Because he would be seen in this, would he not?
He could have been on another mission, like them. I'm assuming that he would be.
Okay, if he was born after Vegeta,
but he could have been born slightly after. But I mean, if you look at in the special that he was in, the age difference appears to be pretty significant.
Yeah.
But then Saiyans age funny too. They got some explaining.
Yeah. Yeah, where was he at, bro? Because it would make sense he was the older, because he sent them off like, he was disgraced at his power, so he sent them off, tried again. Vegeta came along. But that's why I thought he was like the older, but I was like, yeah. So I was like, where was he at the whole time? Like he just had him in between Vegeta, and just like,
I don't know the age difference, but
got some explaining it, tutorial. Yeah. You got some explaining it.
I assume he was just on a mission somewhere.
Yeah. Why try again? And you got Vegeta. I don't know. It's just like a bunch of questions.
But back to the hair thing that you noticed too about the second son. I saw something interesting. Somebody had pointed out that Goten's hair as he ages. So in the new movie, it resembles Gina, his grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought that was really interesting because it's the exact same hair.
Doesn't Gohan probably have that too or something? Because he has a long hair. Of course, it's longer than.
Yeah.
But I guess Raditz had more of that resemblance.
Raditz was an anomaly.
Raditz kind of resembled her with the, he had kind of long hair. Yeah.
Fight!
Round 4.
This is pointless. There's no one out here.
Our orders are to recruit as many warriors as we can to rebuild the force, and that means exploring places in the far reaches of the universe like this.
What?
So, Chi-Lai, why did you join the Frieza Force?
I stole a galactic patrol spaceship, and this is how I'm staying a free woman. You must have met Lord Frieza in all that time.
I'm not a soldier type, so I've only ever seen him on the video monitors.
What's that?
A distress signal, and it looks like an old frequency the Frieza Force used to use. I'll use my scouter.
Don't go! Are you with the Frieza Force? My name is Paragus. BROLY!
Yo, this is sick!
Yes, very good, son. This is BROLY.
This battle power is like, the scanner can't even measure it.
No way. Hop in the ship, friends. Frieza's gonna lose it when he meets you two.
This is such a dope introduction for
that was the best. I don't know. I don't know if it was the best, but that's definitely one of the best introductions I've ever seen.
Yeah. From the music, just
close up mid-chew.
It's dope, man. I would also wonder what happened, like, what was the Frieza Force doing when Frieza was dead the whole time? Like what would have happened?
I forgot.
Oh, you read something about it?
I think I did. But I think he ended up getting new soldiers. There was a few loyalists, of course.
Yeah.
As you would imagine, but I think most of them are new. I could be wrong. If you know what happened to the Frieza Force while Frieza was dead, please fill us in. I do know that they did rebuild him though.
Yeah.
There were some available to still rebuild him. And then in Resurrection F, he had more soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, most of them got killed, and then so he still has more soldiers.
I'm guessing he recruited a lot because
Yeah.
when they did say that he killed a lot of them because they wasn't fighting hard enough. So
Must be giving out charges and Mustang.
See, like Frieza's closer to Darth Vader than we thought. But yeah, he probably just like recruited more people. I guess. To think about it, how many people saying no to join the Frieza Force if Frieza comes to join the Frieza Force? Nah, I'm okay.
Die. And not only that, your planet dies.
Destroy your whole planet. So yeah, this is interesting.
Fight!
Round 5.
I've brought the men in question, Lord Frieza.
Oh. Yet that one doesn't appear to have a tail.
No, sir. Whenever he transformed into a great ape, he unfortunately lost all control over his actions.
You brought danger to my ship.
Please, there's no need to worry, I swear. Were that to happen, I can control him using this remote device which pumps a bolt of electricity through his body.
It would seem you still have a tremendous amount of untapped battle power. And are you aware that your homeworld, planet Vegeta, was regrettably destroyed by an unexpected meteor?
Yes, sir. I've been briefed on the fate of my planet. But if I may be blunt, I do not mourn for it.
Please allow me to lend a hand and help your vengeance come to pass. This is proving to be far too interesting to pass up.
You mentioned the backstory of Broly. I do like how they do extend it in this movie and make it more about this Goku and Kakarot.
Yeah.
Kakarot. Like you see in this movie, he has a backstory of him growing up and his dad. Basically making him more antisocial than he already was by destroying his only friend.
It's a biological weapon.
Yeah, basically. So I do like that about this movie. And did you like the other plot point of like him, Goku being next to him when he was a baby and him hearing his crying? Did you like that?
Not really.
Not really?
I mean, that was all we had to go off for years.
Yeah.
And so, in hindsight, they could have come up with something better than that. But I drastically prefer this origin over the previous one.
Yeah. Because what happened in the last one? He got sent off. Were they stranded on another planet just like this one, or? Because I remember he tried to kill. I remember that scene. He tried to kill Broly. Like he literally like that when he
with the knife, right?
Yeah, he tried to actually kill him, but they survived.
I mean, he exiled. That's why Broly had the scar.
Yeah.
In his abdomen.
Yeah.
And so they exiled. The difference was they exiled Paragus and Broly together.
Yeah.
As opposed to Paragus
just Broly.
Yeah.
Okay.